I don't normally get mixed feelings against the team I support in real life in Football Manager, because ultimately this is just a game. But we're playing against a posh side who are top of the Championship, and the thought of ruining their hopes of getting in the Premier League, albeit quite early in the season, I'm struggling with that a little bit. Hello and welcome to part 110 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have the big local derby away against Posh, and then we're at home against Brentford, also in the Championship. Since you were last with me, we've had horrible form, even worse form than we had at the end of last season. If we have a look at the end of last season, yes, it was pathetic form, but at least we weren't losing. We did only lose 2 matches from February onwards. So, yes, it was rubbish. It cost us a place in the playoffs, but we weren't losing loads of matches. This little run of form here has been truly horrific. We even tried to use the isometric system in this game, the one we talked about in the last video. That didn't really work, so I've abandoned that plan. We just went back to basics for the derby game, went back to the 4-3-3 that we've seen work already this season. It did work. You can see I lost patience with Anthony Harris and dropped him and played Chapman. I don't think I'll be doing that again, but that's how desperate I was getting. We've all been there. Certainly lower league football fans have all been there. When your team's in rubbish form and all of a sudden your star men start drifting away and you start playing absolute trash in their place, and it's literally just the manager rolling the dice, trying to find and accidentally stumble across a solution that works. We kind of did in that game, but it was after 2 of our heroes came off the bench, so I think it's pretty clear back to basics with our best players is probably what we need to be doing. The real frustration, though, is looking at this run of form. It came directly off the back of a 6-2 win against top of the table Birmingham. We beat West Brom 7-0 in the Cup earlier in the season. I have checked. It was a full-strength West Brom team. It was almost exactly the same West Brom 11 that then beat us 5-2 in the league. What, a month later? I don't know what's happened to us. The only thing I can put it down to, and we talked about it in the last video, it's Turd's fault. He's ruined our dressing room atmosphere. Our dressing room atmosphere throughout the entire save has always been good to excellent. I know our team cohesion is going to be a little bit off because we're blooding new tactics, but our dressing room atmosphere has never been this poor, and it's his fault. And I think he's completely responsible for the terrible run of form. The sooner he's out of the club, the better. That being said, I'm probably going to play him today. This is the team we're putting out there for the game against Posh. We are back to, I think, strongest players in every position. In fact, looking at that, we can't play both of these 2 on cover. So who's better at just doing normal defending? Rodgers. So you can do that. We can't have them both on cover. That's mad. They're just covering each other. Well, I guess they're covering their fullbacks, which the way we play might not be the worst idea. But this is the team. Fingers crossed. We are playing the Turd in goal, though. As it is Watson in goal. A back 4 of Wearmouth, Rodgers, Couturier and Gregson, with Harrison, Fernandez and Perry in midfield. And then Magnan, Harris and Mifsud as our front 3. Look who's made his way back onto the bench as well. In our hour of need, we've got to get players we can trust back in the mix. And as much as he's scored, we've looked at it before, he's scored about 3 goals in the last 4 years or something ridiculous. He's not the same Mick Powell of old, but it's the local derby against Posh. He grew up in Peterborough. He went to school in Peterborough. He's a Peterborough boy, just like Anthony Harris is. So this is a big day for Mick Powell, and he deserves to have the opportunity to be a part of it. Right, we're underdogs. There we go. I like being underdogs, but look at it. Posh, top of the Championship. It's the most bizarre Fantasyland universe that I've ever been a part of. More worrying is the fact we're down here. We're miles away. Admittedly, only 3 points behind Huddersfield, who are in 6th place. So the playoffs is still very much on, but we do need to turn this terrible form around, and quick. And Anthony Harris fires just over. What's this? A big telly at Posh. Oh, how the world has changed. At the moment, we've literally got a normal-sized TV, smaller than the one I have in my living room, that we call a scoreboard. And that's it. It's a wonderful thing to see that there's a real big telly thing. That's probably why they're top of the Championship now. They've invested all their money in giant tellies. We have little tellies in non-league to legend. It's coming home. It's all about the big tellies. What a goal there. Oh. We need to sort our lives out. We've dominated possession, but neither team's really had anything in the way of shots yet. And that's a cracking finish. But it is a little bit of a sort of bolt from the blue. It's so far out. We need someone with some individual spectacular brilliance like that. And I think that's the thing we're really missing with not having Matondo. And it's becoming more and more obvious as time goes on. Anthony Harris and Ollie Steer, they will both score goals if the goals are created for them. They both work very hard. They run around a lot. They get into good positions. But they're there to finish off chances. Neither of them are going to pick the ball up and do something spectacular off their own back. It's just not the kind of player they are. And we don't have that kind of player. Neither of our wingers really do that. Even Nick Moss, who probably is our most creative player. A, he's not on the pitch. He doesn't fit into this system. And B, even him, he doesn't do the spectacular. Look at that, down to 15th place. And that's what we're missing. We're missing a star. We need a superstar player. And we haven't got one at the moment. Magnin crosses in to Harris. And it's just wide. They're fired up. Goody. Posh have had 2 shots and scored 2 goals. I mean, that should tell you a lot about the luck we're having at the moment. They're going to score again here. Watson is a turd. They've had 3 shots on target and scored all 3 of them. It's like he's not even trying. But I don't know what to do because Humphreys isn't good enough. We've got one goalkeeper who doesn't want to be here and he's just not trying anymore. And he's bringing everybody down. And another goalkeeper who tries his hardest, but he'd have conceded 4 from these 3 shots. He's just not good enough at this level. And it's ruining our season. Mifsud, cross to Harris, falls to Perry, Perry scores. Because I genuinely think, looking at the stats, and the stats are similar to this in all the games that we're playing. If you look at the statistics, they're fairly even games or games that we're just edging. But it's the individual moments that are going against us. And I think we're really suffering from losing Matondo, but even more than that, we're suffering from Gary Watson just ruining everything. And I can't believe he had his hissy fit when he did. If he'd have done it, I know we had a little bit of an issue in the summer, but I thought it was all resolved. I thought he'd agreed to a new contract. He needed to just go in the summer. We should have taken the 300 grand from Chelsea, and that's the thing that annoys me the most. He will go on to be a Premier League goalkeeper. Why is no one offering? Why did it take till October for a team in the MLS to offer over £1 million for him? They've had 4 shots on target and scored 4 goals. Oh my word. I've had disruptive players cause problems in the past, but I don't think I've ever had a goalkeeper do it. And I just don't know what to do. All we can do is sit here nicely and take our medicine. I'm going to take him off. But we're just going to have to accept that until February when he leaves. But hopefully in January we can bring in a decent goalkeeper so we can at least drop him. But until he leaves, we're just going to lose a lot of games. And the danger is I might get fired. This is the first time in goodness knows how many years of this save that I'm genuinely a little bit worried I might get sacked. Harris scores. Can we have the comeback of all comebacks? If we manage to get back into this game, having taken what's off, look at that passion from Anthony Harris. Wants to get straight back to the centre circle and get things moving. It's a pass from Fernandez. Magnan again getting involved, and Harris, it's a lovely finish. We've got half an hour. Fingers crossed we can do something special. Stupid phone ringing midway through a video. I think that was Gary Watson's lawyer telling me to stop calling him a turd. Right. What can we do? Mifsud is not good enough. Let's get Nick Moss on. You know what? I'm so tempted for it to be him, but I think it has to be him. We're trying to win a football match. I've fiddled with it so much it doesn't even have the individual player instructions on anymore. I've got to remember how to set everybody up. So we want him doing that. He can do that. That's fine. You can do that. You can do that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you stay there doing that. You are going to do this. You two want to push forward. You need to be a more defensive goalkeeper. Right. Let's go back to what we've used for so very long and see if going 2 strikers and really pushing our fullbacks on. Perhaps this is the answer. Perhaps we just have to go back to this. Perhaps Ollie Steer is going to be the hero who saves our season. Perhaps we've experimented with other systems for too long. Ultimately, the wingers we've brought in aren't as good as Steer. They aren't as good as Moss. They aren't as good as Harrison. So every time we play them, we're dropping at least one of those two. Usually one of the three. Usually 2 of the 3. Perhaps we should just accept that our best players fit best into this system. Go back to this, and if we go down swinging. I don't mean relegated. We're surely not going to get relegated, but if we have a tough season, at least it's a tough season playing the home way. But then we have to remember it didn't work last season. Oh, demand more. I feel like I might have killed the momentum that we had by switching the system around. Come on, let's find 2 goals from somewhere. A draw here will be such a morale boost. Steer plays it over to Harris, who can't quite get there. It goes towards Harris again, who still can't quite get there. Where is... I can't even remember which... Is it Gregson playing at fullback? But he should have been... What is that for a weird-looking slide tackle? And we've got 4 players all hovering around the same posh player there, not really getting anywhere. Humphreys to Rogers. We're building from the back here now. Building from the back. Big ball forward. The home lump is back, everybody. Gregson in a crossing position. Can't get the cross away, but Perry does get hold of it, and it's with Moss. Moss plays it into Fernandez, who plays it across to Wearmouth, and it's now 4-3 with 10 minutes to go. We are back in this game, boys and girls. Statistics-wise, we absolutely deserve something out of this game. They're mugging us at the moment. We're 2-0 up on clear-cut chances. We have been the better team. We were just hamstrung by our goalkeeper being a word I'm no longer allowed to say following a recent phone call. Let's push forward. Are we pushing forward? Come on, we've got to grab an equaliser. We absolutely deserve an equaliser in this game. Perry to Harrison. Of course, if we do equalise, we're back to the diamond from the next match. And that's what we do now. Perry to Fernandez. Fernandez plays it across to Gregson, who's got space to cross. Can't get the cross over, though, but it falls to Harrison. There's Fernandez. Wearmouth in space. Crosses to Perry. Oh, 2 massive chances for Perry, and he can't finish it off, and Steer gives the ball away. Look how sad. Was that Perry? He was so glum with his shoulders dropped. It was Nick Moss, actually. I think he's number 13. Posh are going to score a counter-attack here, aren't they, and ruin our day. Moss, big ball forward. Steer can't get onto it, but there's Gregson pushing on again. I love the passion we're showing in this system, but I don't think we're going to get back into the game. There's 5 seconds left. We have been much better than Posh in this game. We just haven't had any luck at all. Are we going to score with our last kick? We've got a corner, I think. No, it's a goal kick. And it's all over. We did not deserve to lose today. And I think Gary Watson goes into the under-18s and we never see him again. I think it's the only... Unlucky. It wasn't meant to be. Where's Watson? He gets an individual team talk. Aggressive. Terrible performance. Looks stressed. Good. Good. I'm glad he looks stressed. That's the last you'll ever see of him as well. A stressed-looking Gary Watson. Where is he? Where is he? How do we do this? Can we do it from this screen or do we have to go on here? I know how to do it from here. Squad. Under 18s. He's done. Right, we're going back to what we know. It looked awesome for that last 25 minutes of the Posh game. We're doing this. We're going to like it. And if it doesn't work, what are we going to do, eh? Humphreys in goal, a back four of Wearmouth, Rogers, Couturier, Gregson, Harrison in front of them, Fernandez and Perry in midfield, Moss in behind Steer and Harris. Probably should have switched to this the day Steer scored a hat-trick on the first day of the season, and it became obvious we did still have a second top striker to go alongside Anthony Harris. The whole reason we moved is because Matondo left, and maybe we should have put a little bit more trust in Ollie Steer the moment we turned down a £5 million offer for him. But He's a regular starter for us now. Harris and Steer are our strike partnership until January, at least, because I've just had a little look at Stoke. Stoke are just outside the relegation zone. Matondo started one game for them this season. He scored one goal. I suggest there might be the opportunity. I don't want to get anyone too excited, not least myself, but I would suggest there is the possibility that they might be willing to let us have him back on loan again in the second half of the season. And I do feel a romantic surge up the league coming on when Bad Egg Watson is gone and Matondo returns and we end up winning the playoffs. I can feel it. I can feel it as a potential future for us. But hopefully switching back to the Diamond, at least we'll see some kind of return to us not being awful. But looking at the stats so far, suggesting that might not be the case. We've had one shot in the first 35 minutes and we missed. This is kind of the reverse of what happened against Posh. And obviously we've conceded because they've shot from range and Humphreys is a conference player. And that's the problem we're going to have. I don't want to see the replay because I don't want to see what happened. I want 10 minutes of passion just before half time. Oh dear. This is the toughest spell I've had at home. I feel like this is tougher than any spell we had at Nuneaton. I know we got relegated from the Championship at Nuneaton last year, but that was... I imagine getting relegated in our fourth season at this level. Right, yeah, I think passionate. Can we assertively say there's nothing to lose today? Go out there, give it your best shot. Just play your natural game. Try and get the love of football back. Come on, lads, please. Do it for old Kev. Hey, do it for Kev. I need it. I need a win. I can't look at the comments with stuff like this going on. I know that's been disallowed, but what is Humphreys doing there? What is Humphreys doing there? It makes me want to bring Watson back into the team. We are having the biggest goalkeeper crisis in the history of this channel, and this is a channel that's previously had Robbie Nadat as a goalkeeper and Kevin Thompson as a goalkeeper. But this is a bigger goalkeeper crisis. At least they were thoroughly nice chaps, if a little rubbish. Moss, ball over the top to Steer. Oh, he does score. It was utterly terrible to begin with, but then the goalkeeper has put it back on a plate for him, and Ollie Steer has grabbed a goal, and hopefully that's going to give him a little bit of confidence, because he looked a little bit like a fish out of water coming on in the last game, and it was just really poor initially, but he does get a huge slice of luck. Seasons turn on moments like that, and hopefully that's what we're going to see happening from here. If we can now grab a winner, we can end the episode on a positive. Wearmouth not playing very well. Menudo can apparently play as a left wing back, so get him on there, get him playing as a left wing back. The Stig, by the way, has asked for a transfer because he doesn't ever play. There are clubs who've offered close to £500,000 for him, so hopefully the Stig's going to be moving on as well. If we can get rid of the Stig and Watson and bring back Matondo, January could be the greatest transfer window in the history of Football Manager. Right, we've brought Marsh on for Harris as well, because Harris having a pretty absent day, and Humphreys, no matter how well we play, for as long as we've got one of these two in goal, it's not going to matter. Perhaps now's the time to do a flat back five. Perhaps this was a bad time to bring my flying wing backs back into the system. But we've got to try and outscore teams, but it's really hard to do when your defence is so rubbish. Look at the state of that bench. What has gone wrong here at home? I tell you what went wrong. We signed the Stig. From that moment on, we splintered off into an alternate universe where everything's a disaster. Just rubbish. Demand more. We've got 10 minutes. Please, somebody score a couple of goals. Oh, how far off the playoffs are we now? Still only 5 points. If we had 5 wins on the bounce, which is a huge ask at this stage, but if we could... Oh, Steer's in again. Can Steer... Ollie Steer. I tell you what, he's a pressing forward, isn't he? He's a proper pressing forward. Ollie Steer, I told you the era of Steer was starting, and this is superb from him. I love to see this from my strikers. That is excellent. He might have faffed about a bit for his first one, and got a bit of luck, but that was all hard work and determination from himself, and he absolutely deserved that. If we can grab a winner here, I'll be very happy. Falls to McLeish. McLeish plays it back out again to Marsh. Cross comes in. Moss. I mean, millimetres were in that. If he'd have scored there, I think I'd have turned the table over in joy. There's signs of life. In the second half of both of these matches, there are signs of life. We've got to solve this goalkeeper problem. And the issue is we've got another 10 games to play before we can do it. It's damage limitation until Christmas. And let's see when we're coming back. I don't want to show you another episode like this. I might just take us all the way through to the January transfer window. Unless I guess if things start to turn around, it's worth showing you that happening. But I can't do another episode of playing quite well, but it all being undone by a goalkeeper. Let's have a look. Oh, there's so long to go. I can't go all that way. Can I? We'll perhaps go as far as Stoke. We'll do Palace and Stoke, I think, the 2 Christmas games. Got to show you Matondo if there's a chance that he's playing. So we'll do Palace and Stoke. And hopefully we won't be as rubbish as we've been today. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.